Do you think in our industry, we empower those who are innovating to make that same pivot, or do we disincentivize them somehow? Whether it's career-wise or, just kind of like, shame on you, you tried something, look at all the money you spent. Do we incentivize people to try new things and fail, or do we disincentivize them and perhaps cause them to just go with the trusted method because, I'm not going to get in trouble if I just go with what I know works, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and oh my goodness, you're pulling at my heartstrings here, because this is really about organizational culture. Do we empower people to make these pivots? Really what you're asking is, do we empower people to admit that they made a mistake?
There you go.
Right. And I'll go back to my business career where, accounting is this fantastic space where when you got the right answer because everything, all your balance sheets balance out.
Mm-hmm.
And that culture, that background really, it draws a lot of perfectionists and it creates a lot of perfectionists. And people go through university, they believe that, you can get there's such thing as a perfect answer. Our entire education system is set up where there's right answers and wrong answers. It is black and white. The problem is that the real world isn't as binary, right? There may be no perfect answer, but there are a lot of really good answers. But also, we come from an education background where people aren't encouraged to make bold choices that might fail. And so there's a lot. I think, your question was about really, do we empower people to make pivots? I think that there's a huge systemic struggle with that, where you've got people who've got, 12 to 16 years of education where pivots weren't really encouraged. And you're trying to overcome that culture as well. And so, one of the ways that I try to do that is I try to tell people, this comes from lean startup methodology, minimum viable products, things like that. Let's say, all right, let's have a hypothesis to test, and let's quickly validate if that hypothesis is true or false as fast as possible. Like, if we're going to fail, let's fail fast. And let's make it as small as possible. Let's not make it something that takes us 3 months to validate, but can we pick up the phone and answer this question? Right. And showing people that they can fail small and that they can fail with intentionality. I've got a hypothesis. I'm trying to see, will people be able to even use their phones to use this app in this situation? I could pick up the phone and answer that question in 5 minutes. Right? It's a hypothesis that I can validate or, and fail. And if I fail, excellent, great. We can get more clarity on that. And that gives us something that we can, build off of or can't build off of. And showing people in the small ways how to fail well, how to fail smartly, not catastrophically.
That's never good.
No, well, that's exactly. And everyone's afraid of failing catastrophically.
Right.
But, and showing them like, okay, but like, it's okay to fail in a really small way and make a habit of that, because that's how we learn. That's how we grow. And cultivating curiosity whilst balancing that with, all right, I know what I know, and I know enough to be convicted that this is how we need to move forward. But yeah, a lot of people go in thinking that they need to be the expert, because, and it's fueled by this perfectionist mentality, which is a almost paralyzing place to be, because then you get stuck in analysis paralysis and you never go anywhere. And then, Jeff, like you said, you get these spreadsheets that become monstrosities because people know how the spreadsheet works. They can see it. They don't understand how it works, but they know, like, if it breaks, I can fix it. Yeah, and reminding people, hey, you know what? Like, it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to learn, and it's okay to make mistakes. Let's make them in a place where it's low risk and, low investment and high reward if we get it right.
Absolutely. And that's probably a great takeaway for anybody in a leadership role who's listening to this show. Demonstrate to your teams that it's okay to make mistakes. Be vulnerable, be humble. Model that behavior, and you'll see more of it from your team. Team members will be more willing to try new things. And to your point, Adam, we don't want anybody failing catastrophically, but fail fast, learn from it, and move on. And as a team, collectively, we get better as a result.